Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jenny. Mark, I know you've been looking forward to this one. A new development in the world of credential management, huh?
Oh man, I have been. This update from Versasec, their vSEC, CMS, it's version 7.0, and it's garnering attention as a significant step forward for what they call enterprise-ready FIDO management.
Okay, enterprise-ready FIDO management. Let's break that down straight away for those of us who might not, spend their weekends immersed in this. What exactly is FIDO and, more importantly, why does it need managing in the first place?
Excellent point, Jenny. So FIDO stands for Fast Identity Online, and it's a set of open standards. Think of it as the industry coming together to figure out how we can move away from passwords. It's all about using cryptography instead of shared secrets like passwords to verify who you are.
So passwordless authentication, essentially? Like using a physical key or my fingerprint instead of typing password 123, right?
Exactly. And why does it need managing? Because in a large company, you're not just dealing with like time 1 or time 2 asterisk FIDO keys. You might have thousands, maybe tens of thousands of employees, all using different types of authenticators. Maybe it's a security key. Maybe it's biometrics. Maybe it's a phone app. And they all need access to various systems, different applications. Managing the entire life cycle of those credentials, how you issue them, how you revoke them if someone leaves the company, how you update them, it quickly becomes a complex undertaking.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So Versasec's vSEC CMS is the system that comes in to, sort out all that complexity for businesses?
Precisely. And version 7.0 introduces some key features that really address major pain points that companies have been feeling. One of the big ones? Multiple Passkeys Enrollment.
Multiple Passkeys Enrollment. So like having more than one FIDO key for different things? Like one for work email and one for my secret cat forum?
Well, you could use it for your secret cat forum, but in the enterprise context, it's more about being able to generate and manage passkeys for asterisk more than 2 times identity providers, or IDPs. Think about companies using services like Okta, Azure AD, Google Workspace. It's quite common for organizations to use several of these simultaneously.
Right, like for different departments or different types of access, perhaps?
Exactly. And traditionally, managing FIDO credentials across more than 2 distinct IDPs has been a real administrative headache. This new feature significantly streamlines that whole process.
So instead of the IT team having to manually go into asterisk this time system and set up FIDO for a user, then go into asterisk that time system and do it again, they can do it more centrally through vSEC CMS.
Pretty much. It simplifies the deployment and the scaling of FIDO2 within a large organization. And that's huge for driving adoption, because it removes a significant amount of that administrative friction that slows things down.
Okay, so easier deployment for FIDO. What else is new in this version? Any other standout features?
They've also introduced what they call 4+ PIV certificate support.
Okay, PIV certificates. I know PIV is related to government and security standards, like for smart cards used by federal employees, right? What does 4+ mean in this context?
That's right. PIV, or Personal Identity Verification, is a standard for identity credentials, often on a smart card, used for accessing U.S. government facilities and computer systems. Traditionally, PIV cards are designed to hold a specific configuration of cryptographic keys or certificates, typically up to 4. Supporting 4+ means Versasec's system can now manage PIV cards that might have a more extended configuration with more than those standard 4 keys.
Okay. And why is that important?
It's important for organizations, particularly those subject to strict government regulations, or with very specific security profiles, who need that extra level of security, or who have custom implementations of PIV cards. It adds another layer of flexibility and strong security support for companies already heavily invested in smart card and PIV-based authentication.
So we're talking about simplifying FIDO deployment across multiple identity platforms and times enhancing support for these really stringent, highly secure smart card standards often used in government or critical infrastructure. That really sounds like it's directly addressing both security and times efficiency. Which kind of brings us to a pretty striking statistic I saw in the research data you pulled.
Ah, yes. The Bloomberg report statistic about productivity losses tied to password resets.
Tell me about that again. It was quite eye-opening. Something like over $5 million a year in productivity loss. Just from password resets alone. For a company of a certain size?
That's right. The figure frequently cited from reports based on that kind of research is something around $5.2 million annually for a company with roughly 15,000 employees. Just think about that for a second. Every single time someone in that company forgets a password, they have to stop whatever work they're doing, contact the IT help desk, wait for assistance, wait for the reset. That downtime accumulates very, very quickly across a large workforce.
That is a considerable amount of wasted time and, consequently, money. So, by helping companies move towards passwordless authentication using FIDO, Versasec's update is not just a security upgrade. It's directly targeting that specific, measurable problem?
Precisely. If you remove or significantly reduce the reliance on passwords, you consequently remove the need for those frequent, time-consuming password resets. This isn't just theoretical security improvement. It has a direct, significant, positive impact on a company's financial situation and, perhaps more importantly, on employee efficiency and morale.
Passwordless authentication feels like it's long overdue, doesn't it? Passwords are just such a persistent, weak link in the security chain, and honestly, they're just a general nuisance for everyone.
They truly are. And let's not forget that a vast number of successful phishing attacks rely almost entirely on tricking users into revealing their passwords. By moving to FIDO-based authentication methods, which rely on cryptographic proof rather than a shared secret, you significantly reduce the risk surface for those types of attacks.
So we're looking at less risk of phishing, stronger security measures, and potentially saving millions in lost productivity due to password issues? This version 7.0 sounds like a substantial development for enterprise IT security teams.
It strongly appears that way. Beyond the specific features we've highlighted, the research notes also mentioned performance tuning and an updated architectural foundation, which suggests it's designed to be more robust, more efficient, and more scalable as companies grow and their credential management requirements become more demanding.
It really does feel like we're at something of a turning point in how businesses approach digital identity and access control. The decades-long reliance on passwords, it's just not sustainable in the current threat landscape.
I wholeheartedly agree. And seeing solutions like this one mature and incorporate features that directly address those real-world, complex enterprise challenges, it's an encouraging indication of progress.
Okay, so to bring it back and summarize, Versasec's vSEC CMS version 7.0 is working to make FIDO 2 adoption easier for large organizations with features like the enhanced multiple Passkeys Enrollment. It's bolstering high security standards with better 4+ PIV support, and it aims to help companies reclaim significant amounts of money and time by tackling password-related inefficiencies.
Pretty much captures it. It's about making robust, passwordless security more practical and less of a burden for significant organizations.
Very cool. It will be genuinely interesting to track how widely this is adopted and observe the real-world impact it has on things like those productivity numbers we discussed.
Definitely. The shift towards passwordless methods is gaining momentum. This seems like a meaningful step in that direction.
Fantastic. Well, that wraps up our look at Versasec's vSEC CMS version 7.0. Thanks for breaking that down for us, Mark. A complex topic, but you made it accessible.
My pleasure, Jenny. Always appreciate diving into the tech that aims to make our digital lives a touch more secure and, hopefully, less frustrating, eventually.
Indeed. And thank you all for tuning in and listening. Join us next time for another discussion on the evolving world of technology and cybersecurity.
See ya then.